Hey guys, welcome back. This is episode 8 of Sundays with Bucket Ponds. Today we are building an algae focused aquarium. This was a suggestion from you guys from the community, and I must admit, it became a beautiful tank. I can't wait to show it to you and to build it with you. So let's get started. First and foremost, the goal here is to farm filamentous algae for use in other projects. We'll be using some marble stones, 2 pieces of screen mesh, 1 large half-gallon jar, and a DIY air stone. We'll also be using some fluval stratum for this project. This is an aqua soil, and it is somewhat expensive, but 1 bag goes a long way for these nano aquarium projects. So I do want to start with a thin layer of the fluval stratum. We don't need much. This will act as the initial long-term nutrient load for the tank. And on top of this, I am going to add filamentous algae right there into the tank as it is. But first we need some. So here we go. Just like every cooking show, I've had some growing off camera for a while now. And it looks really cool. You might also call this hair algae. But mixed in with this algae is a huge biodiverse ecosystem. Tons of hitchhikers. It turns out that filamentous algae is an ideal habitat for many different organisms. Forgive me if I'm being a little quiet on this episode. I am recording in a different location. So we're going to add the filamentous algae right on top of the fluval stratum. And I'm just going to scrape it off the roots of this Wedelia plant that's been growing in that small jar. I did think about adding the Wedelia into this build, but I don't want the algae to compete with anything. You guys asked for an algae-focused ecosphere, and I want to get there eventually, but I figured we should start with an open aquarium first. So I added the algae on top of the soil, the stratum, and now I'm adding a screen mesh on top of the algae. My idea is that the filamentous strands, the filaments of that green algae, will grow up through the screen mesh and provide us with an interesting type of visual effect. And I should note that many of my pets can eat filamentous algae, especially our bladder snails. So growing this stuff intentionally, growing a bunch of it, might be beneficial for me. I see a lot of aquarium people who they'll, oh, please help me with my algae problem. And they'll show a picture of some beautiful algae growth, like on their hardscape or something, and they act like it's a problem. But, not all algae is toxic. And I'm not telling you to cover your tank in algae, but I'm just saying that it can be beautiful. It can be amazing, and it can be useful too. In many ways, it's just another plant in your aquarium helping you out. So we did add the water. You should add your water very slowly and very carefully if you're using fluval stratum. That way you don't make a mess and turn the water brown. So now I'm adding a little bit more of filamentous algae here. You can kind of see how it looks like, how it looks underwater. This is just the beginning, so don't get discouraged. I do like it swirling around in the tank, though. That's pretty cool. This half-gallon jar I've had laying around for years, and I've been using it for different projects and things over time. I am looking to acquire some new jars in the near future if we ever have the funds for that. As it is now, I have to handle some other things. I promised the members I would send out some merch like months ago, so I have to do that soon. But here we are. We've added our DIY airstone, and that is just a piece of lava rock that I have drilled a hole into and shaped a bit on the grinder. Very simple DIY airstone. You can use a store-bought airstone as well. So you may notice that the lighting has changed here as I add more material from the donor aquarium there, that small jar on the left. But the lighting has changed because I have added a lamp, specially attached to this jar. I don't usually do that, but this is the same type of light that we used on the fishbowl aquarium, and I'll show you more about it in a moment. Now I am going to add a little bit of water from that moss that we captured in a previous episode, and I'm hoping that this detritus, this mulm, this material may come with a few hitchhikers of its own. Who knows? We might luck out and raise some mysterious creatures in here. There's a look at the light. I am not proud of how it's mounted on here, so I'm not going to show it to you very much, but it works. It works well. So hello, it's day 2, and we do have some excellent algae growth already. I've left the light on for 24 hours, and yeah, the tank looks pretty good. The water is still clear. Our air stone is still functional, and our algae is growing. I think it looks really interesting, guys. And in time, in a couple weeks, I bet we could expect to see towers of filamentous algae in here, spires and ropes and things coming up off the bottom. Now, if you look more closely, you will see a ton of life in here, an unspeakable amount of animal life in one form or another. Several different species of worms inhabit my aquariums, as well as many paramecium, copepods, and all those fun things that we also love and enjoy. There's one now, little superhero copepod just hanging around. But these guys are the reason that my tanks work. Also, these are some of the worms that I got from Psycho Plant Lady in Florida. Big shout out to Dina over at Psycho Plant Lady on YouTube. And yeah, they're a part of my ecosystem. Lately, you guys have been mentioning that you were surprised that my tanks could handle such a significant nutrient load with all the mulm and things that I've been working with lately, all the aqua soils and all that stuff. And it all comes down to these animals here. These guys process that material very quickly, and they turn it into, first more of themselves, reproduce, but they also turn it into fertilizer, which immediately goes to our plants. It's a great functional system. You know, if I didn't have the wide array of microfauna that we have today, I might not be able to build tanks quite like this. And I've assembled this team of interesting life forms over time. Some of them you guys have sent to me, and I thank you. Others I've found in the wild, and just brought them home, and they happened to work well in my aquariums, and they became part of the team. Some of my pets are not cooperative, and they will eat each other, so I have to be careful about that. We are going to add 2 pieces of cucumber, and I have smashed them. I know it sounds weird, but they won't float as much if you crush them a little bit. I am looking into acquiring a better way to feed the tanks in the near future. So day 5, and the jar looks amazing with this light. If I turn off all the lights in the room, then we have this psychedelic, amazing visual thing here. The tank is absolutely glowing. We have excellent vertical growth of our filamentous algae. We also have a floating mass that is formed up at the top, and that is excellent. I am blown away. Just the colors in this room and the background. It's beautiful. And I should mention that I usually have all of these items under a grow light. So this is just a special effect for this tank right now, but I do love it. And our airstone looks good. It is a little bit clogged, and that's fine. This is my first lava rock airstone, and I'm surprised it's working so well. But I might need to drill a couple holes into it or something. Still, the microfauna. Enjoy it. Could you even call these worms microfauna? I'm always on the edge about that. To me, the word microfauna implies that they are microscopic, but when I can see them, I don't know. I don't think it really counts. I just like to tell people that I raise worms and snails and stuff. Um, yeah. One time I was talking to a friend and I mentioned something about crustaceans, and they did not even know what a crustacean was. And I felt so alone in that moment. But check it out, guys. Our tank is very well populated. And to be honest, I don't know of anyone else on YouTube doing builds quite like this. I haven't seen it. If you have, then please drop a comment. Let me know. I will gladly go check out their videos. Some of the coolest people I watch are from your guys' suggestions. But yes, the tank looks amazing. The algae has even colonized our airline a little bit. And yeah, I'm very happy with it. Honestly, it came out better than I expected. I was worried this project would kind of bomb and I'd have to scramble to do another video for this episode. But no, we've created a psychedelic beauty, and it does seem to be functional as far as raising microfauna and using them to grow filamentous algae. It's a perfect system. I'm really shocked. I'm going to dust the tank off real quick, and we'll take a look under some different lighting conditions. But yeah, guys, it looks successful. There is a little something here on the glass that I can't clean off, and that's a side effect from using recycled jars. Totally cool with that. Forgive me if you see a little scratch on the glass. It'll be okay. The tank does look amazing. And yeah, it seems successful. I believe we'll be able to grow filamentous algae in here for quite a while. I do have to feed the microfauna, and we're going to do that in a special way. They like mulm. They like the cucumber slices and stuff, but really they want mulm. They want that brown stuff on the bottom of your fish tank. I know it's nasty. I know it is, but that's what they want. Worms, those different species of worms, those tiny creatures, all my little true microfauna, bacteria in my tanks, the things that make these projects work. They feed on mulm. And in this particular tank, I think that we've created a bottomless pit. A bottomless pit where we can continuously export mulm from other projects. These creatures will consume it, break it down into fertilizer. That'll grow into filamentous algae. We'll harvest that, feed our other pets, and repeat the cycle. I think it's a beautiful idea, a beautiful system. And I will supplement the mulm feeding with just a piece of cucumber here and there, but that's all they really need. Really, it's just the mulm. I may add a few sweet gum seed pods or possibly even a few leaves in this tank eventually. But as it is, I don't want to mess with perfection. So, yeah. You might be saying, oh, you just injected all those microfauna, all those worms and things at the start. And yeah, sure, I seeded it with a few of them. But these guys reproduce very quickly. When there's food, they will double and triple and quadruple in numbers exponentially. So, yeah, I can almost guarantee that, say, 90% of what you see here was born in the aquarium. And I think that's really cool. I have had some very interesting comments lately, and I just want to say I'm grateful, guys. If you would do me one huge favor, though, leave a comment telling me what country you're from. I'm really curious about that. YouTube doesn't show me all of the data, and I'm just curious who's watching. So please drop a comment, say hi, and let me know where you're from. If nothing else, you'll answer my curiosity, and hey, maybe I can improve the channel a little bit. If many of you guys are overseas, then it might help for me to add captions or something like that. So thank you for watching. We built a great aquarium. Please let me know where you're from, and have a great day. Big thank you to my YouTube members and Patreon supporters. You guys are the heart of the channel, and your support means the world to me. So thank you. I'll see you again in the next episode.